Okay, the first question is, how many evaluations can CPS make you undergo?
Thank you for calling and thank you for listening. Let's go right now to Cassie in the Golden State of California. Cassie, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Hi, I had a few questions to ask, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first question is, how many evaluations can CPS make you undergo?
A CPS can never make you undergo an evaluation. Only the juvenile judge can, if he or she orders it. And they won't usually order it more than, one, maybe two times in a CPS case.
Okay, and then my next question would be, if one of the evaluators gave CPS the evaluation and emails I sent them in private without a release of information, and CPS put that in court, who's held liable, the evaluator or CPS?
Well, if there's any liability at all, it would be the evaluator. But if you were a court-ordered evaluation, I would bet $1 you signed a bunch of forms that said anything that the evaluator discovers or is communicated to him by you or other witnesses can be transmitted in the report to the juvenile judge and to CPS.
Okay, and then my next question was about disposition hearing. So we haven't been to disposition hearing, and our kids have been removed since November 17th, 2020. They keep on pushing it forward.
Hold on a second. That's almost impossible. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. We were supposed to have it so many times these last few months, and they haven't had it.
Okay, well...
We were supposed to go back on April 13th for them to set yet another hearing.
Okay, so what you need to do is ask your attorney to make a motion to have the case dismissed for not having the hearings within the statutory time periods. There are actually published cases in California where you reside and where I practice that say, cases can be thrown out when they take too long to, they call it dispo, when they take too long to do the disposition hearing and or the adjudication, the jurisdictional hearing. So talk to your attorney about doing that. I talked to your attorney about doing that via email, so it will be in writing. And there are cases that support that notion. If your attorney or if you want the names of those cases, you can call me at my office tomorrow and leave a message, and I'll have one of my staff call you back and provide you those case names. And you can just Google them and read them yourself. My telephone number is 888-888-6582. Do you have another?
That would be great.
Do you have another question, Cassie? By the way, let me tell you about dispositional hearings. They're the most important hearing in the juvenile dependency court process, because the social worker has to prove two things. That she has to prove, or he has to prove, by clear and convincing evidence. All right, that's kind of a high standard.
3 minutes.
That you are a substantial danger to the child. Now, you have to be a bad person to be a substantial danger to the child. Not just a danger, a substantial danger. Then they must prove, even if they prove that, they must prove that there are no less restrictive alternatives. And, what I do in some cases is I subpoena the person most knowledgeable to alternative services that I know exist in that county. So what I would do is sometimes I subpoena in the person most knowledgeable, like the person in charge of family preservation. I won't say the county, but it's up near you where you are. But I once subpoenaed the person most knowledgeable. That person came in to testify. No one had talked to her about the case, not even her own attorney. And she testified to all the services that they could give this family rather than place the child in foster care.
2 minutes.
And
Wow.
and of course the judge is kind of like looking at the county council and the social worker like, what's going on here? So they couldn't prove in my case. They couldn't even prove that my guy was a substantial danger, and they couldn't prove less restrictive alternatives. So you want to talk to your attorney about focusing on that. Hey, Cassie, I want
Yes.
to thank you for calling and thank you for listening. Don't forget to call me, 888-888-6582, and call and let our listeners know, in 3 or 4 weeks what happened in your case, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We've run out of time. There are a couple things that I want to give again. My website is fightchildprotectiveservices.com. Check out CPS Attorney Rolodex if you're looking for a defense attorney, across the nation. We're trying to build up that data bank. And my YouTube channel is just Vincent W. Davis. So go to YouTube and type that name, VINCENT WDAVIS. And if you go to the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe and like the videos. That helps me a lot with the channel and with YouTube. All right. Hopefully next week Cynthia Becker will be back with us on the air. Keep her in her prayers. This has been The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. Thank you for listening and see you next week on the radio.